Can you hear me okay? Yeah. Welcome to chair yoga. I'm going to scoot back there to my chair. We'll start today with a breath practice that is invigorating. Sometimes midday, we kind of need that. So finding an upright seat in your chair, maybe wiggling a little from sit bone to sit bone and rolling your shoulders up, back, and down. Let's do that a few times. Up and back and down. One more. Up and back and down. So the breath practice manipulates your inhalation, which will energize the nervous system. So activates the sympathetic nervous system. The inhale will be taken in 3 sips. So we'll inhale, 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 long emptying exhale. We'll do 5 rounds like that without the arms, and then I'll show you some things we can do with the arms. So you should probably be able to hear me. I usually sniff 3 times as I'm filling up on the inhale. So let's take a cleansing breath first. Nice deep inhale. Long emptying exhale. Maybe the mouth opens. Let it go. Here we go. Inhale, 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 exhale. I'll join you. One more. I'll let the breath resume its natural state. Just notice thus far if maybe you feel a little more invigorated, usually more of a sense of kind of being awake in the headspace. The arm movements with this go inhale, 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 exhale. You can just follow along with me. So here we go. Two more. Pause once again and notice maybe feeling a little more awake. One more option. With the arm swing, you can inhale, 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 fold forward, exhale, inhale, 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 exhale. Here we go. We're going to do 5. 2 more. Hands to lap. Just breathe. Just notice. Has anything changed? Maybe a little more energy. Sometimes we call these kind of movements in yoga skull shining breath. It can feel like you just shine the inside of your head. All right, let's start to warm up the physical body. Let's turn the gaze to the right and turn the gaze to the left. Let's do 3 more like that, pushing the shoulders down and getting tall through the crown of the head as you twist through the head and the neck. 2 more each way. Range of motion in the cervical spine. And then one more time. So just of interest, I was reading about some anatomical things and specific to the aging process. And as we get older, of course, we potentially and quite often lose flexibility in joints. And turning the head from side to side is one thing that we tend to lose. And we really don't do a lot of that through our activities of daily living, usually, unless you're in some sort of job that you do that. But you need to be able to look over your shoulder for a lot of reasons. We also lose extension in the neck. So extension would be looking up and flexion looking down. Look up and look down. Let's do 3 more of these each way. Up. So taking these range of motion exercises to this is the initial stretch, and then maybe nudging a little bit. Nothing painful. One more. but pushing a little bit to retain range of motion. Now let your arms hang to your sides. Let's drop right ear to right shoulder. Now hold this, push your left shoulder down, and then do some circles through the shoulder. Letting the weight of the head draw the ear, right ear to right shoulder, a little range of motion through the left shoulder, but pay particular attention to that downstroke of the circle, maybe getting a little more stretch in the top of the shoulder and the side of the neck. Now let's go the other way. Well, first just feel the shape. Left ear to left shoulder, pushing the right shoulder down. Notice what difference that makes. And then add a few little circles here, exploring what's going on in the shoulder at this point of your day. Maybe you're noticing some tightness here. And then bring the head so the ears are over the shoulders. As you inhale, reach up slowly, look up at the thumbs. As you exhale, push the hands into the air. So add some resistance as the chin drops to the chest. Inhale, look up. Exhale, arms come down, gaze goes down. Let's do one more like this. Inhale, up. Exhale, push the hands down, chin comes down. Now look up again, bring your arms up, look at the thumbs, and bring your hands together. Hands together in what we call Anjali Mudra, prayer hands. Bring the hands home to the heart. Push the hands together here. So adding some isometric contraction, dropping the shoulders down, staying tall, reaching through the crown of the head. Let's work the wrists a little bit. I just want you to turn the fingertips so they face down and then rotate through the wrists so they face up, but you can even draw them closer. Maybe the fingertips can touch the chest. Keep going. We'll do a few more of those each way. Maybe you spend a lot of your day in activities like computers or using your hands in a way that maybe this stretch feels nice in the wrists. Now bring the hands back in front of the heart, lace the fingers. Now the forearms face the earth, palms face the earth, just your arms here. I want you to reach out, stretching through the fingers, maybe through the heel of the hand, come back and touch your heart. And then go back out again, just the arms. Let's reach, reach, reach. Feel that stretch in the upper back. And then come back and touch the heart. Now this time as you reach, 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 hold that, and then sweep your arms above you, take a back bend here. And then exhale, arms come down to the sides. Inhale, arms up, bring the hands together. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, lace the fingers. Exhale, just your arms reach. Now come up, we'll come into a back bend, spinal extension. And exhale, the arms down to the sides. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, reach up. Hands come together in Anjali Mudra. Exhale, hands to heart. Lace the fingers. This time as you reach forward, let's round the back during this last time. We're going to hold this a bit. So take a few breaths. Spinal flexion. Maybe you let that chin get a little closer to your chest. 2 more breaths here. On your next inhale, swoop the hands up, come into that back bend. And exhale, arms down to the sides. Let's shake the hands out. Use the fingers quite a bit. Let's shake them out. Get some energy, some prana to the hands. Now take your hands to your knees, and we're going to do some more flexion and extension of the spine. In yoga, we call this cat-cow. As you inhale, come forward into the back bend. Look up. Elbows are bent. You can draw your elbows closer to the ribs. Bring the shoulder blades closer to the spine. Breathe into the heart. Now on your next exhale, let's round the back. We would call this cat. Tuck your chin to your chest, roll back behind those sit bones, reach with the arms, get that nice stretch between the shoulder blades. And then let's flow with the breath. The inhale is going to bring you into the cow pose. And exhale, round the back, tuck the chin, cat pose. How about we do 3 more of these each way, tying the movement with your breath, keeping the movement slow so you can feel more, so you can do what you need to do for your back today. One more each way. And we'll end on a back bend. We'll keep that back bend. Open the arms out. So I've got a bend in the elbows, palms are facing up, gaze is facing up, heart is facing up. Breathe that. If you, well, here in Ohio, it's a gorgeous day. So I have a beautiful blue sky out there, sunshine. Maybe you can picture the perfect sky for you, and you're sitting under the sky and you're soaking it all in, taking that energy in. 2 more breaths. And then exhale, arms down to the sides. Let's do some more shoulder rolls, but we'll do them together this time, feeling the movement of the shoulder blades. So the spine's going to want to get involved. That's okay. But focus on the shoulder blades. As you roll your shoulders forward and up, see if you can spread those shoulder blades wide and then go back and down and bring the shoulder blades towards the spine. 3 more like that. Forward and up, back and down. 2 more. Keep breathing. Last one. Sitting tall, shoulders are over the hips. We're going to bring the arms out in a T shape. Keeping the arms in this T shape, we're going to turn to the right, entire spine. Now keep the arms lifted like this, and then turn to the left, entire spine. Making sure you're glancing over that shoulder as you're twisting side to side. Now the next time you're twisting to the right, let's keep that. And then bring your hands down. Take maybe the left hand to the outside of the right knee. The right hand can come behind you, taking the chair. As you inhale, lengthen, get tall. As you exhale, develop the twist. Push your shoulders down. Take your gaze over the right shoulder. Now breathe deeply into the belly. So as you inhale, the belly expands. And as you exhale, pull the navel in, lift the pelvic floor. 3 more breaths like that. One more. Now keep your twist, except take your neck or your, so the cervical spine will switch. I want you to take your gaze over your left shoulder. And then just let go of the hands, unwind. Just let the spine unwind. Let's bring those arms like helicopter blades again. We're going to turn to the left this time. When you can't go anymore, anchor the hands. Sitting tall on your inhale. As you exhale, develop the twist. And now focus on the breath. Focus on the belly moving a lot with the breath. Making space for the diaphragm to do its job. But with this exaggerated movement in the abdomen, you're massaging the digestive organ. Keeping that flow going. 2 more breaths. Now take your gaze over your right shoulder and then just let go. Unwind like a little spring here. Let's do a little lateral flexion in the spine and then we'll move on to the lower body. Let's inhale, reach up. And we'll flow with this one. So with the arms reaching up, reach as high as you can and then push your shoulders down. Notice you can do both at the same time. Now we're going to take this right arm over to the right, coming into a nice side bend. As you inhale, sweep the arms up and over, exhaling in your side bend to the left. Let's do 2 more of these each way. Inhale, up and over to the right on the exhale. Inhale up and over to the left on the exhale. I want you to hold this next one. So we're reaching over to the right. I want the right arm to just hang. Bend the left elbow, bring the hand to the back of the head. So the right arm's heavy, we're in a side bend, we're going to add some rotation of the torso. So I'm going to rotate forward and around. My elbow's going to come to, my gaze will kind of be over there to the right. Then I'm going to come back to just that isolated side bend, but I'm going to keep going and rotate, bringing the elbow towards the back of the chair, gaze can go up. Let's do 2 more of those each way. Rotating as we're in lateral flexion. 1 more each way. And then sweep those arms up and over. Let's go on over to the left. We're going to let the left arm hang and then take the right hand. Elbow bends, and we're just resting it behind the head, adding that rotation forward and around. And then back up, reaching back with your rotation. Let's do 2 more each way. One more each way. And then sweep those arms up. Let's bring the hands together again. Gaze at your thumbs as you return your hands home to heart. Make sure you are, in fact, seated at the front edge of your chair. You can kind of walk forward on the sit bones and take your hands just lightly to the chair. That will keep you sitting upright rather than rounding as we start to focus on the low body. I want you to take the right leg out. I'm on the heel, and just like you're going to step on the gas and then lift up off the gas. Step on the gas, lift up off the gas. I'm going to press the toes forward, lift the toes up. Let's do one more of those. Now draw the foot back a bit. I'm on my heel and I just pulled my foot back about the length of my foot actually. So I've got a little bend in the knee. I'm going to spread the toes as wide as I can. And then it's like I'm using my foot as a windshield wiper. I'm going to drop my little toe out and then my big toe in, pivoting on the heel. So the knee comes along for the ride, but you're going to feel the movement really here in the hip socket. So some range of motion in the hip. And some movements in the foot that are important to maintain in order to get around in the world as fast as we want to, safely, without falling. Let's do one more each way. Now I want you to reach out for the right knee. Lift the right knee. So I'm tucking that right up next to my belly. And I'm going to do some circles here through my hip. Nice and slow. Some more range of motion in the hip. Now reverse the direction. And then pull that knee up again. Make sure you're sitting nice and tall. I'm going to take my left hand to my shin, and I'm going to squish my shin towards my thigh. And now when I rotate and put my ankle on top of my left thigh, I was moving through the hip and not jerking on my knee. And once you get this foot up here, I want you to draw the toes towards the shin. That protects your knee. I want you to just lightly touch the knee. We're going to push the knee away, get a little bit of a stretch, but we're going to add a little internal rotation. So let's bring that knee up and then back and down. A little push at the end, nothing painful, but again, find that edge and play there. Nudge into it a little bit. Explore a little additional, what do I want to say here? You just want to push into the stretch. So you make that boundary of your stretch a little deeper, maybe gaining some flexibility. Let's do one more each way. And then let the leg rest where it feels best. Maybe you can use the muscles of the legs to actively keep that knee open. I want you to get tall on your inhale. And as you exhale, fold forward here, any amount. My heart's going to come towards my shin. I'm going to start pushing into that left foot. And pause when you start to feel the stretch. Again, we're going to find that edge. We're going to kind of hesitate a bit. And then maybe we can come into it a little deeper. The response of the body when we stretch is to really tighten up. But there's also a reflex called the Golgi tendon reflex. It usually takes 30 seconds or more of a hold, but the body will also eventually just relax a bit. So if you have a little more, I'm taking my right hand right down through between the legs, right between the legs, and then the left hand wraps around. I'm going to lace my fingers in front of the shin and then maybe pull a little deeper. But this might be too deep for you. If it's painful or just doesn't feel good, don't go this far. Keep pushing into the left foot. So by pushing into the left foot, we're activating the muscles of the left leg isometrically while we're stretching on the right here. Now let's push strongly into the left foot. As we come up, swing your arms out and up, and then bring the hands home to the heart. Now I'm flexing this right foot, drawing the toes towards the shin. I'm going to take my right hand on the outside of my right knee. Left hand comes to the outside of my right foot. I'm going to lean back. I call this rocking the baby. So now I lifted the baby, and we're going to rock the baby. We're moving through the hip. Couple more. Now hold this. I want you to take the left leg and heel toe the leg. So now it's a little towards the midline instead of hip distance apart because I want you to cross your legs. So see if you can bring knee on top of knee. And if that doesn't work for you, just find the most that you can get that knee over. Sit tall. Now reach your arms out to your sides. I want you to take the right hand. Now let's take the left hand. I want you to take the left hand, thumb down, bend the elbow, and take the right hand above you, bend the elbow, like you're patting your back. See if you can bring your fingertips close to each other, nothing forced. Don't let that top hand push your head forward. So if you need to keep your elbows open a little more, do that. And just breathe into this. This nice twisted up stretch. One more big inhale, one more long exhale. And then as you inhale, let's just unwind. Take it all out, shake the arms. Inhale up and exhale, hands home to the heart. Let's take the second side. So the left leg is going to come out. You're on your heel. Sit bones are right on the edge of the chair, and you understand why when you start to straighten the leg. Otherwise, the edge of the chair cuts into you. Let's step on the gas and lift up. Step on the gas, lift up, and feel the stretches. So go push into this enough that you can really stretch the muscles. And remember what happens. Those muscles are milking the venous blood, the veins, back to the heart, especially if you're sitting a long time or traveling or sick. Now we're going to draw the heel back towards you, getting a little bend in the knees. Spread the toes wide. We're going to drop like a windshield wiper, a little toe out, big toe in, moving through the hip, adding some movement in the foot to help the brain and the foot stay connected, stay in communication with each other. We'll do two more each way. Here's one and two. And now let's reach out there and grab the knee, sit nice and tall, bring that thigh up as close as you can, and we'll do some hip circles. Go slow. Feel more. You may reach places in this range of motion where it feels a little stuttery, a little jittery. And that just means that you need to go back and kind of iron that out. That means the brain and the body have kind of forgotten how to move in that part of the circle. You just give them a few times and it comes back. Call that somatic amnesia. Now bring your knee up nice and high. We're going to reach out for the shin. Push the heel as close as you can. So now your leg looks kind of like a log. Now when I rotate, it will be in the hip and I'm not torquing the knee. You're going to feel a stretch quite likely in that outer left hip. Draw the toes up towards the shin. Take your left hand, maybe a little push down with the knee. And then a little windshield wiper. We're going to bring the knee up and out. Up and out. Let's do three more like this. And then sitting tall again. We're going to take the left hand, maybe a little press into that knee. Foot stays flexed. Inhale for a nice long spine. My movement forward comes from my hip crease. So the heart comes forward and down towards the shin. I'm not rounding my back. Push into the right foot. Feel the engagement of the muscles, especially quadriceps in the right leg. And then maybe you inch forward a little more. And if you have the space, you can thread the fingers in front of your right shin and just a little pull, drawing you a little further forward, but keep pushing into the right foot. Keep breathing. Now push strongly into the right foot as you sit up. Bring your arms out and up. And then we need to pick up the baby. So gather the baby, keeping the foot flexed. Lean back and rock the baby. Now that right leg, I'm going to heel toe. So my nose is kind of right in line with my knee. And now I'm going to cross my legs. Sitting nice and tall, I'm going to give you a different arm variation. Bring your arms out in the shape of a goalpost. This is goddess arms. So I want you to swing your arms forward, and I want you to wrap your left arm under your right. And then bring the backs of the hands together. You can give yourself a hug too if this doesn't work for you. And if you have the flexibility, you can reach around and take what we call a double wrap. So I'm just reaching around with my hand and grabbing my wrist. If you're in this shape with me or this shape, I want you to push your fingers up towards the ceiling and then push your forearms forward. So I went up and forward. Probably a more intense stretch in the upper back. Send your breath back there. Breathe between the shoulder blades. 2 more breaths. Next inhale, unwind like a spring. Open those legs. You can shake your arms. Take a few breaths in and out. Let's swing your arms out and up. And bring hands home to heart. It's time for a little bit of relaxation. You can scoot back in your chair. So you have a little support along the pelvis, along the sacrum, but make sure you're not using that as an excuse to round the back. Try to maintain your upright posture. Reaching through the crown of the head, remembering the sky. If the sky today in your world looks like a place you'd like to be out there in, maybe that's where you want to be. But if it doesn't, maybe there's someplace else you can imagine. Sitting under the sun, breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. For the last few moments that we have together, I have a mantra for you, if you like it, that you can say silently to yourself. As you inhale, say, I am. And as you exhale, say, enough. Inhale, I am. Exhale, enough. Take several breaths here. On your next exhale, release the mantra and begin slipping into awareness of the physical body now. Movement can help with that. So wiggling fingers and toes, but be present there. What does it feel like? And then maybe the ankles and the wrists, and you know what to do. Just start moving. Let the physical sensations of your body bring you right back to the moment, right back to here. We're going to reach up together one more time. Reach up. Gather what you need between your hands. As you exhale, let go of any last bit that no longer serves you. Let it go, at least for the moment. May you have peaceful thoughts, peaceful words, a peaceful heart, and a peaceful world. Namaste. Thanks, everybody. Have a marvelous day. It was good to see you all. I hope your weather's like mine. It's perfect here today. Bye. Oh, good. Thank you.